Alright, ladies and gents, before we start, let me tell you about Quid, the app where you open packs to collect stickers, trading cards, and Funko figures on your phone from some of your favorite brands, like Marvel, DC, Game of Thrones, Rick and Morty, and tons more. Collect and trade them in the app or send them via iMessage. Pick up the app for free by clicking the link in the description, and don't forget to add Screw Attack as a friend. New stickers, cards, and figures are released every day, so hit us up for trade if you get a rare one. Alright people, we all love a good origin story where the character is born into a loving family atop a rainbow with marshmallows and unicorns. However, it's a lot more interesting when that family is murdered. So get your tissues out because today we're talking about the saddest origin stories in comics. I'm Jocelyn the intern and I do all the research nobody else wants to, especially for this one straight from the desk of Death Battle. Okay, so the sad origin story is nothing new, and let me tell you, there's like a lot of them, so we're just gonna go over some of the most iconic for today. Now, of course, everyone knows that Batman's parents were killed in front of him as a child, which is mainly his parents' fault because, come on, if you're a billionaire aristocrat family, maybe you don't go into downtown Gotham without a bodyguard. Ever think of that, guys? Maybe a little bit? Regardless, despite being pretty traumatic for Bruce, it's surprisingly easy to top that sob story in the world of comics. For starters, Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, had his wife and both children gunned down right in front of him by the mob. Your parents dying sucks and all, but I don't think it comes close to your wife and kids. However, I think it's the villains that have the roughest origins. In Eddie Brock's case, it's the longevity of bad luck and hard times that really makes his story so depressing. Literally from his birth, Eddie's life has been pretty damn hard, starting with his mother dying in childbirth. If that wasn't bad enough, it was pretty clear that Eddie's father blamed him for the death of his wife, so poor Eddie grew up knowing almost nothing but loss and hate. That's not really an ideal childhood. Once Eddie grew up, found a career, and got married, it didn't really get much better. Working as a journalist for the Daily Globe, Eddie finally broke his first big front-page story, the identity of a villain named Sin Eater. However, it was only hours after Eddie's story hit the stand that Spider-Man caught the real Sin Eater, discrediting Eddie and the Daily Globe. Not only did Eddie lose his job over this, but his obsession with Spider-Man cost him his marriage too. It was then at the lowest of lows that Eddie decided to end it all and take his own life. Before he could do it though, the Venom symbiote found Eddie and turned him into a complete psychopath. Oh, and he got cancer and failed to commit suicide 2 more times. So if you ask me, Tom Hardy is the perfect casting for Venom because that guy is nothing if not equal parts sorrow and insanity. Then there's Magneto, the metal-manipulating mutant best known for antagonizing the X-Men. Magneto was born Max Eisenhardt in the 1920s to a Jewish family living in Germany. And if you're anything but a moron, you've probably already guessed things get pretty damn hard for dear old Max. Forced into the Warsaw ghettos by the Nazis, Max and his family dreamed of escaping. And eventually they did! But their freedom was short-lived as they were tracked down by the Nazis and Max's mother, father, and sister were killed, leaving him as an orphan. Oh, and then they sent him to Auschwitz and made him a Sonderkommando, which is a prisoner forced at gunpoint to dispose of all the bodies left in the gas chambers. So yeah, pretty shitty would be the understatement of the year. However, after spending a lifetime being persecuted for being Jewish, Max was finally freed from Auschwitz by Allied forces. Determined to get his life back, he married the love of his life from his imprisonment and even had a daughter. Everything was looking up until he was persecuted once again, this time for being a mutant. The day his powers surfaced, an angry mob burned his house down, killing his daughter. In his rage, he killed the entire group for what they had done. His wife, who witnessed Magneto's unbridled vengeance, ran into the forest and never returned, leaving Magneto truly alone. If that doesn't seriously F you up, I don't know what will. Oh, and fun fact, Magneto actually spent a short stint working for the CIA, hunting Nazis.